6 months after Gen Z protests. Balen Shah-led RSP set for landslide victory. Kathmandu's ex-mayor now gunning for Prime Minister. From rapper to Prime Minister frontrunner. At 35, Nepal's Gen Z wildcard rises.
Today we are looking at one of the most unexpected political stories emerging from South Asia. A man who was once better known for rap battles than political rallies. A civil engineer who became a city mayor, and now at just 35 years of age, a man who could potentially become Nepal's next Prime Minister. His name is Balen Shah. Hello and welcome. You're watching NewsX Explained. Today we are looking at one of the most unexpected political stories emerging from South Asia. But how did a political outsider, a man with no long party lineage or traditional backing, rise so quickly in a country where power has long been controlled by veteran leaders? Well, to understand Balen Shah's rise, one has to begin with the political turmoil that shook Nepal just months ago. Only 6 months back, Nepal was witnessing one of the most intense periods of public unrest in its recent history. Streets across the country were filled with the demonstrators. There were students, young professionals, entrepreneurs and first-time protesters. Many belonged to what is now being called Nepal's Gen Z political movement. Their message was simple but powerful. They were frustrated with a political system they believed was outdated and corrupt. They felt the same group of political figures had been rotating in power for decades without solving basic governance problems. The target of their anger was the government led by Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli. The protests grew rapidly in scale. They eventually turned violent, with clashes between demonstrators and security forces in several cities. Government buildings were set on fire and political tensions reached a breaking point. By the time the dust settled, at least 77 people had lost their lives. Under immense pressure, Oli was forced to step down. An interim government was formed under former Chief Justice Sushila Karki to stabilize the situation and prepare the country for new elections. But the protest had done something far more significant than just bring down a government. They had created a demand for a new kind of political leadership. And that is where Balen Shah enters the story. Balen Shah was born in Kathmandu in 1990. His childhood unfolded during a turbulent time in Nepal's history. The country was grappling with a decade-long civil war between Maoist insurgents and state forces, a conflict that lasted from 1996 to 2006 and left thousands dead. Growing up during this period of instability shaped the political consciousness of many young Nepalis, including Shah. Yet his initial career path was far from politics. Shah studied civil engineering at Himalayan White House International College in Kathmandu. He later went to India to pursue a master's degree in structural engineering at Visvaviraya Technology University in Bengaluru. For several years, he appeared to be following a professional track common among many urban Nepalis. But Shah also had a creative side. In the early 2010s, he became involved in Nepal's growing hip-hop scene. At the time, hip-hop was emerging as a form of social commentary for young artists in the country. Through rap lyrics, they spoke about unemployment, corruption, and a political system that many felt was failing to keep up with a changing society. Shah quickly gained attention in this space. In 2013, he created Raw Bars, a rap battle platform where artists faced off live in front of audiences. The competition became a cultural phenomenon and helped bring Nepal's hip-hop movement into mainstream. Shah's own music was direct and political. His lyrics critiqued corruption, questioned political elites, and expressed the aspirations of young Nepalis seeking change. This early connection with the youth culture would later play a crucial role in his political appeal. Still, few expected him to enter electoral politics. That changed in 2022. In May of that year, Balen Shah announced he would contest the Kathmandu mayoral election as an independent candidate. The decision was seen by many as a long shot. The race included well-established politicians from Nepal's two dominant parties, the Nepali Congress and the Communist Party of Nepal. Yet, when the results were declared, the political establishment was stunned. Balen Shah won the election by a comfortable margin. At just 32 years old, he became the mayor of Nepal's capital city. The victory sent a signal that a significant portion of voters were ready to support political outsiders if they promised accountability and practical governance. As mayor, Shah attempted to project the image of a hands-on administrator. He focused on urban issues that directly affected residents of Kathmandu. These included traffic congestion, tax compliance, waste management, and the regulation of illegal construction. Some of his decisions were popular, while others generated controversy. However, many supporters viewed these actions as evidence that Shah was willing to make difficult decisions in order to improve the city. This image of a decisive leader grew stronger during the mass protests of 2025. When demonstrations against the Oli government swept through Nepal, Balen Shah became one of the most prominent public figures expressing support for the movement. His song Nepal Haseko, which translates to Nepal Smiling, quickly became an anthem of the protests. The track spoke about a future in which Nepal would be fairer, more prosperous, and more responsive to its citizens. As the song spread across social media and protest gatherings, Shah's popularity expanded far beyond the capital. In the eyes of many young Nepalis, he came to symbolize a generational shift in politics. This shift is particularly significant in a country where political power has long been held by a small group of veteran leaders. For decades, figures associated with the Maoist insurgency or the democratic movements of the 1990s have dominated Nepal's political landscape. Among the most prominent of these leaders is KP Sharma Oli. Now 74 years of age, Oli is a four-time Prime Minister and one of the most influential figures in Nepal's modern political history. His career began in underground communist activism during the era of the monarchy. He was arrested in 1973 and spent years in prison for his political activities. Supporters praise him as a strong nationalist leader who navigated complex relations with both India and China. Critics, however, accuse him of an authoritarian governing style and of responsibility for the violent crackdown during last year's protests. Oli has rejected those accusations, saying the violence was caused by what he described as infiltrators among the protesters. Now, in the 2026 election, Balen Shah has decided to challenge Oli directly. He is contesting from Jhapa 5, a constituency that has long been associated with the former Prime Minister. The contest has turned into a symbolic battle between two political generations. On one side is a veteran leader who has shaped Nepal's politics for decades. On the other is a 35-year-old first-time national candidate representing a new wave of political aspiration. Shah is not contesting alone. Earlier this year, he joined the Rashtriya Swatantra Party or RSP. The party was founded only in 2022 and has presented itself as a reformist alternative to traditional political groups. The RSP has gained considerable support among urban voters and young citizens who are seeking greater transparency in government. Another important contender is Gagan Thapa of the Nepali Congress. Earlier this year, he was elected as the head of the Nepali Congress after defeating longtime party leader Sher Bahadur Dioba. Despite strong competition, Balen Shah continues to attract significant support, especially from young voters disillusioned with traditional party politics. Many see him as an outsider who entered public life through civic engagement rather than political networks. His rallies draw enthusiastic crowds, with supporters viewing him as a symbol of change. Critics, however, question his political maturity, citing controversies including a deleted social media post criticizing global powers and scrutiny over a luxury vehicle during the campaign. Still, Shah's rise reflects a wider shift in Nepal, where younger voters are demanding accountability, jobs, and cleaner governance. Regardless of the final result, his candidacy has already reshaped Nepal's political conversation.
6 months after Gen Z protests, Balen Shah-led RSP set for landslide victory. Kathmandu's ex-mayor now gunning for Prime Minister. From rapper to Prime Minister frontrunner. At 35, Nepal's Gen Z wildcard rises.